the crop circles.
Yes.
The British government, now you'll probably see a lot more of them, because I'm like, more like, is it Bradley? I'm sorry if I've got your name wrong.
Brandon.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Ah, you're okay.
Sorry, Brandon.
It was not the first time.
All good.
That's okay. Last time I was on in the chat, they were saying Susan Boyle. So, I mean, I wish I had her voice, but I wish I had her singing voice. But I mean, I'm blonde-haired and green-eyed, so that kind of kiboshes that. But yeah, regarding the crop circles, the British government brought out a new tax on farmers. Basically, a lot of British farmers might be land wealthy, but when it comes to liquid assets, they're pretty poor. So if they were getting money for those crop circles, I reckon that's why you're going to probably see more of them.
Interesting. There is a way to make money.
Yeah. And also, the further south you go in the UK, the more airy-fairy people are. Like you'll get the people that tried to dance around, Stonehenge during the solstice. So they're all into all that weird queer shit.
Yeah, that's weird. Have you ever seen a crop circle in person?
No, I haven't, but I did see an old video that was going round online. I think it was late 80s, early 90s. Maybe it's been debunked, but it was like somebody taking, and this was obviously before all that, tweaking that you could do with videos. And it was like ball lights that were circling round in a field, and it just, this crop circle appeared.
Oh, it was a video of a crop circle being made?
Yeah, I think it's online. I think if you were to look it up, you'd be able to see it.
Interesting. I haven't seen one of those yet.
Yeah, but this was like late 80s, early 90s. Maybe if you type in the very first crop circle glowing orbs, and something might come up. Regarding Maxwell,
yes.
The newspaper tycoon in the UK, obviously had all those newspapers, and everyone that was working for him, everybody that was working for him, paid into the pension pot.
Yeah,
and then it came, he blew all their money.
That's right. Yeah, that was crazy. You're talking about Robert Maxwell. For those who are just now tuning in, Jerry, is your name Jerry? I forget, or is it another name? Catherine. Okay. So Robert Maxwell, and just it's funny you say this. It's funny you're calling tonight because I was just thinking about you when I heard that Robert Maxwell changed his name in his mind to make it sound more Scottish, because it's not his real name.
No, that's right. Yeah, well, of course, there's that connection with Scotland again, and all the weird shit that happens up here.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got like well, that talking about UFOs. Remember how I was speaking about Roslyn Chapel?
Right.
That's a UFO hotspot.
Oh, interesting. UFO hot spot.
I don't know.
In Roslyn, and I wonder what you guys are seeing. Are there videos that you've seen or reports of people saying it's military or they believe it's extraterrestrials?
Well, now you see, I was looking geographically. Now, Roslyn Chapel's just down from Edinburgh, and my ex-husband was in the Royal Air Force. He was an electrical engineer on Tornado jets.
Wow.
And we were based in Lookers, which is, as the crow flies, straight up, which is just outside St Andrews, the home of golf.
Right.
And the married quarter that we stayed in, it used to be called Reheat Alley, because that's where the jets would take off and come in, which was, I mean, they put triple glazing in, but it did absolutely nothing. I mean, I remember my ex-husband, he came home because they would do something like quick action response.
Right.
Like if something unusual, usually it was Russians, they would scramble the jets and put them up. And I remember they were having, because he come home and he's like, oh, my head's busting, because he was an electrical engineer. So anything electrical on that jet, and they were saying the radars were picking up daft things like dog fights. They were getting scrambled, and there was nothing there.
Oh, that's weird.
Because like I mean, they were having to strip whole systems down, thinking there was something wrong. Because if you've no radar and you're your first response for British airspace, it's a bit of a problem.
You cut out there at the very end. What was that? Sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say, if you can't cover British airspace, if you think your radar's faulty, it's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because they were thinking, well, there's something right, okay, send them up. And not only that, British government has a fantastic habit of spending billions on absolutely useless stuff and pennies on stuff that we really need. So you really need to have a good bloody excuse to send a jet up there that's burning thousands of pounds.
We wouldn't know anything about that here in America. I've never heard of a government using money that they shouldn't.
Yeah, those black budgets.
Crazy.
But yeah, well, I've got to pick two stories. I'll be very quick because I know the last time that I was on for ages, and it was a shame for people phoning it.
Oh, it's okay.
I've got two stories. Actually, I've got one story. Have you heard about OB1 Nairobi?
Nope. No, that's a new one.
This was an SAS guy who I don't know if you heard in the news. There was terrorists in Nairobi, like a shopping mall, and there were one guy blew himself up outside the whole area. There was like restaurants around it. There was a hotel. There was like little businesses like beauty salons and things like that. Now, America and Britain it's like an ally, Nigeria, and so they were in Nairobi, and this special air service guy was based there, and he got a call. We're having trouble at this shopping mall. Could you come over? So he said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." The guy's name was Christopher Craighead, and so he jumps in the car. He drives towards it. For some unknown reason, and this is what got me. For some unknown reason, he saw this guy standing at the side of the road, so he picked him up. And the guy was all smiles. Oh, gets in the car. Oh, hello, blah blah blah, and the drive off. He says, "Where do you need to go?" He says, "I'm going in this direction." He says, "Oh, just stop, drop me off at the nearest village." And the guy went, "Okay." And then he turned to the guy and he's smiling. He's very, very personable, chatty. He says, "Oh, what's your name?" He says, "Oh, I'm Chris." He went, "Oh, hi, I'm whoever." He says, "How old are you?" And he says, "Oh, I'm 43." He says, "Well, I'm 43 as well." He says, when were you born?" He went, "September." He says, "I was born in September as well." He says, "What date?" And he said, "The 15th of September." And the guy went, "Well, I don't know when I was born, but might as well be the same day." And then he reached in and pulled out this great big dagger, and it was a curved dagger with like two prongs at the end of it. And the SAS guy who was sitting, he says, "I never felt frightened." He says, "You're not going to hurt me, are you?"
He was going to where?
He was going to Nairobi. He was going to a shopping centre in Nairobi, the SAS guy. But he picked this guy up. He didn't know who he was. You don't know why he did it, because obviously he had to go in this direction. So anyway, this guy in his car pulls out the sword, and the SAS guy says, "I never felt frightened." And he says, "You're not going to hurt me, are you?" And the man just turned out to him and says, "No, there's lots of demons on this road, and this is why I need this." And he's like, "Okay." So he dropped him off. He dropped him off at this village, but when he was in the car, and as soon as he got out the car, his foot hit the floor, and his whole face changed. And he said something like, "May God be with you on this day," and it really threw him. And so anyway, he never thought much of that. But he said when the guy said it, something washed over him personally. He didn't know what it was, but he ended up going to the shopping mall, and he ended up saving over 700 people's lives that day, that SAS guy.
Wow.
Yeah,
And the thing was, the SAS guy says, he says, you're always taught when you're in the special forces to be focused. He says, I've never been as focused. He says, my hearing's never been clearer. My sight was never better. He says, and when that was over, I just reflected back to that guy I picked up in the car. And the minute he put one leg out the car and it hit the ground, and he just slowly turned to him and says, and he had this absolutely, although he says his face changed, but you could tell it's still him. He says, may God be with you on this day.
That's
And then he
incredible.
climbed out the car and he snapped out of it, and he was back to his jovial self again.
Was this reported on soon after what happened?
This was, I mean, by all means, look up Obi-Wan Nairobi as in
no, it's
city.
it's definitely out there. This guy's name was SAS Trooper Christian Craighead, who was later given the nickname Obi-Wan Nairobi after the attack. He had gone on to write a book about his involvement in the incident, which the Ministry of Defense refused to grant express prior authority to publish the book, which Craighead sought to overturn in courts. However, his appeal was dismissed. And for all of our gamers out there, this guy actually has a playable character in Modern Warfare, the 2019 version, known as Otter. That is supposed to be a representation of SAS Trooper Christian Craighead.
Wow.
That's interesting.
That's a crazy story.
Yeah, I mean, it's got here, because I wrote it down. The passenger then said, may God bless you many times this day. Then he stepped out of the car, and then he went back to himself. Now, when you consider what the SAS guy had been through, he was pulling people out of this mall. He shot. There was 5 terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, they were Somali. I mean, where's the connection here with Congress?
Yeah, 2 were Somali, 3 were Kenyan.
Wow.
Yeah, and 2. The SAS guy killed 2 of them. I think one of them blew himself up at the restaurants, and the Nigerian army killed the other 2. Now, what made this operation more complex was, like in South Africa, in normal North Africa, whatever you want to call it, they have like private security. So you've got the police, they're visible. You've got the army, they're visible. Private security, not so much. They're plain clothes running about with guns. So all that complex sort of in the mix, that was one hell of a hard thing for him to sort out. And then for him to go through all that and then just think about that guy in his car.
That's amazing. That is a crazy story. I'll have to look more into that. When was that? You see?
Oh God.
This was it January of 2019?
Okay, all right.
It looks like January 15th.
Wow.
It looks like death toll sat at about 20 Kenyans, 1 from the United Kingdom, and 1 U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
And he did save, it looks like he was able to save over 700 lives out of that hotel.
Incredible. He was blessed that day. He was blessed.
But yeah, regarding, I'll just say one small thing as well. I don't know if you guys have heard of Madeleine McCann.
I don't think I have.
No.
A small British girl that went missing, and the stuff surrounding that regarding, it's not been confirmed, but I mean all the things are pointing to like paedophile rings, trafficking rings, all this nonsense. She went missing in Portugal, British girl, and the weird thing about that was the mother and father were quite prominent in the media, and the connections they had, like John Podesta, and Freud. Freud, the was it psychiatrist or whatever? His grandson, stayed just up the coast from the holiday resort that they were staying at, where the little girl went missing.
Right.
And so they ended up befriending them. And there's a photograph online. I don't know if you've heard about Red Shoes.
Of course, yeah. The red shoe
Yeah,
like gang, the people wearing red shoes means they might be part of some pedophilia cult.
yeah. Basically, they say that I don't know if it's true or not. You know
Right.
these things.
I know.
The red shoes are made out of children's skin.
Right.
Well, there's a photograph online with John Podesta and this Madeleine McCann's father, and they're all standing in line. They've all got red shoes on, and they're pointing one foot out. I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
Yeah, Podesta is a weird little dude. I haven't heard of them.
Yeah,
Did they find? Did you say if they found the girl or do you know
no,
anything?
they've never found her, and that was really weird. I mean, they had the Portuguese police check the room with the little girl. There was two twins, and there was Madeline, and I don't know why, but the mother and father and their friends, they were all doctors. So the mother was a general practitioner, and the father was a heart surgeon. But they were sort of in a complex, but they were quite a fair distance away from the holiday apartment. So if anything went down in that room, they wouldn't have heard anything.
Jeez.
And I'm like, what? And
I
I mean,
think I've got the
I
photo
don't.
here. I think this is the photo. I don't know if you're watching right now.
That
if
is
you can
one of the
see.
photos. Yeah, the red shoes.
This is Jerry McCann is supposedly the man in the beige trousers here, and all of
Yeah,
them are wearing red shoes. I don't know if this how legit this is. They all look like they have the exact same pair of shoes on.
Yeah, I've seen that
yeah.
go
Well,
around.
this is it. But the thing was, Jerry McCann was very. He was very much in the public eye, and but the thing was the friends or the connections he was making with people, they were very odd people he was making connections with, and like you were saying before, Shane, about being a father. I mean, I'm a mother, and I mean, my personal dog in this fight was I was SA'd at the age of 14.
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry.
So and so I'm like, well, I know psychologically how it can affect you for the rest of your life.
Right.
Um, so
Well,
yeah, so I mean, I think it's a lot bigger than what it is.
I think
I think it's
widespread.
it's it's everywhere. It really is everywhere.
It really is.
Um, I mean, you'll probably remember in the UK about the grooming gangs.
Oh yeah, that's insane too.
That's
Insane.
it's horrific. I mean, you've got fathers going to houses where their daughters are being I don't know what you can say because obviously YouTube and all the rest of it, but
Right. I'm sure
um,
everyone listening has been
you've
following that story this year. They know the deal. It's disgusting.
yeah, so you've got fathers trying to get their daughters out of houses, police turn up and arrest the father.
Yeah.
You know,
It's insane.
you've got this girl, um, as- an assault happened to this girl. She manages to get to the police station. She explains to the police station, "You need to help me. You need to help me." They never did nothing. She didn't even get out of that police station. Then she got messages on her phone from her attacker saying, "I've got your brother, and if you go through with this, I'll break his legs. And if you continue to go through with this, I'll firebomb your mum's house." So somebody in that police station had told her perpetrator.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's so dark,
It's
it's
so
horrific.
deeply embedded. It's like you think you can rely on the authorities, but I mean, I like to think you can, and that they're not all compromised, but some of them certainly
So,
are. I was talking earlier about Jimmy Savile, like how crazy that story is out there in the
do you want
UK.
do you want do you want to know something really twisted about? I mean, everything about him's twisted,
Yeah,
but you want to know something that's really funny?
let's
He
hear
was
it.
he was very close friends with now King Charles,
That's right.
and when King Charles and Lady Diana were going through issues in the marriage, he went to give them advice.
Yeah, great. It-
And I'm like, so what advice did he give him? If she's too much a pain in the arse, Charles, just clip her brakes and piss it out with her car, you
Right,
know?
right. Yeah, this guy was a straight up demon. I mean, one of
But
the
see when
worst.
he was they actually put him in charge of mental health hospitals, right? And obviously in hospitals you've got a morgue department. He was having sex with them.
Yep, yep. crazy. And his whole death is weird too. Wasn't he buried at an angle, like standing up?
Well, when he got buried, everybody was cracking right up here, and they dismantled his grave. So I don't know if they've dug his body up and put it somewhere else or whatever. But if I think they probably would have had to, because if they didn't, somebody would have dug that up and stuck it somewhere as sort,
right,
as a message. But yeah, I mean.
And someone else from the BBC was just this year, or maybe it was the end of last year, arrested for like a ton of weird.
Oh, that was I can't remember his name. It's a Welsh name. Yeah, he got now. See, this is how effed up Britain is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Tim keeps going on about civil war in America.
Mm.
No, it's going to kick off here first, I reckon.
In Britain, why so?
In the UK, it's going to kick off.
Why do you think?
Well, we had a wee flashpoint when 3 girls got stabbed by, well, he was born in this country, but he was a child of immigrants and he had mental health problems. He went to Taylor Swift dance class and stabbed 3 girls and injured another 8. And there was riots for 2 days after that. Yeah, there was riots for 2 days after that. They arrested one woman, put her in jail for 2 years and 3 months for a tweet.
That stories.
And then you've got people who've raped 12-year-olds who are on release for 12 months.
It makes no sense. I mean, the only sense it makes is that the people in charge don't care and actually encourage it and probably participate in it. I don't understand. I can't make sense of it. It really is totally illogical, but makes sense, I suppose, if they're evil, which is all it is.
Yeah, I mean, it gets me so angry. I mean, one side effect through what I've been through, I have noticed that, is rage. And try not to. I try to be, but I get so angry so fast.
Right.
Because it's like a personal thing for me because of what I've been through. And if there was ever a country that could commit suicide, I think Britain's on its way there.
Well, you might be in competition with Canada, but you do have
That's very
grooming.
true.
You have the grooming gangs to a much bigger degree, and it's smaller. It might be easier, but Canada's got the MAID program and all this stuff. It's dystopian everywhere you look. It's just getting stranger. This is why I keep saying I feel like we're getting to the edge of some new revelation, existential crisis as a world, as a whole civilization.
It's definitely constructed. I mean, and planned. I mean, I remember, God, years ago, people would say, "Have you seen the news?" And I'd be, "Why would I want to watch the news? I'm doing this or whatever." Or politics, not interested. But see, in a week, the amount of news, and I don't know if it was since COVID, but we were getting like a year's worth of news in a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I can't.
Have you ever seen Clockwork Orange, where they have the guy's eyes open?
Emotionally beat us down. It's like they're prepping us for something. And I don't know what the hell it is, because you would not do that to your country. They wouldn't do what they're doing or what Biden thought we're doing. You wouldn't do that in America to your own people. Like the British, you wouldn't do that to your own people.
It only makes sense if you feed off human suffering.